everyone. My name is Beth. I'm one of the PAs here at MedSpa 1064. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm here with Erin, and what we're going to be doing today is a fun little guessing game and giving you an opportunity to earn $25 towards a treatment with a maximum of $100. So what we're going to do, we have two of our coworkers today who are participating, and we're being very safe and all wearing our masks. And then just for the guessing portion, I'll ask Erin to remove her mask, and you guys can join in and kind of guess which treatments that she had done, and then we'll provide a little bit of an overview and answer any questions that you have about the treatments that she has had done. Okay? All right, so let's get started, and I'll just ask Erin to take her mask off for a little bit. And then she's gonna come a little bit closer just so you can get a really good look at her face, and we'll give you just a couple moments to take a look and then just go ahead and throw out some guesses.
All right.
Just beautiful.
Thanks, guys.
All right, any guesses so far?
Nothing yet.
Okay. Or just a reminder, any correct guess, you get $25 off a treatment. It could be something as simple as
lip
skin
filler.
care.
We had somebody guess lip filler.
Okay. All right, perfect. So we'll start with that. So this is one of three that we'll go over. So lip filler, as you can see, you got up pretty close, Erin.
Yes, I can get
Okay.
just for the sake of you talking about it.
So our goal here, specifically at MedSpa 1064, is we love to just kind of enhance an already beautiful lip. We never like for someone to look overdone or for someone to say, oh my God, she had her lips done. It's more of a, oh wow, she looks really good. She looks beautiful. She had something done, but I'm just not sure what. And whether it's at a young age or an older age and you're losing some lip volume, or you just want to define those lip lines a little bit more, you meet with your provider and we kind of just discuss what you're looking for. And then there are multiple types of fillers depending on what you want and what your needs are. And we kind of guide you to how much and what specific filler to use. Typically, it will last between 8 to 12 months. And that's about it. If you have any specific questions on lip fillers, please throw them out. I'm happy to answer any.
Erin, tell us what your specific goals were with your lips.
So I started my lip filler journey a couple years ago. I had a very thin upper lip, but I've always had a full bottom lip. So what I needed was a little bit more structure within my lips, and I kind of been building on them. So when I first started, I had done a full syringe, and then I was doing treatments probably every 6 months to a year, and now I'm almost at every 2 years I'll get a half syringe of Juvederm.
Perfect. And do you mind telling us a little bit about just kind of the process, like walking someone through it? Like you start with numbing, and then what can you really expect during the treatment itself?
I would say it's a pretty comfortable experience. I think I'm always so excited to get my lips done that I'm just, no matter what happens, I'm excited about it. So, you do a consultation here. They're complimentary. We'll go over everything with you in terms of downtime, what to expect. And I think it's always good to have an idea of what you're looking for as well. Like I have a lot of pictures with me when I get my lips done, because I'm, depending on shape, sometimes you want to show the provider I'm kind of looking for something in this direction, maybe a little bit fullness here. I always want my Cupid's bow to be a little bit more structured too.
Yeah.
So I think that our providers are really good at listening to what we're looking for and make recommendations from there. Like if I show them a picture of lips that are definitely not going to suit me, they're very honest about that, and they want you to look naturally enhanced and not like somebody else. So I think that's cool.
Exactly. And pictures are always very helpful. And what we start with is we can always add more and build. And one of the risks or common side effects to expect is the lips are so vascular that one of the risks is you can expect some bruising and swelling for up to 2 weeks. Everyone is a little bit different. But sometimes when they're swollen for those first few days, they can actually look bigger than what your end product will be at that 2-week mark. And then it can be kind of a slow process where we just slowly build to get the look that you're looking to achieve.
Awesome. Erin, they're asking if you can do another close-up with
Yeah,
your
of
lips.
course I
Now
can.
that we know that they're done,
Yes.
let's take a peek.
I don't know where to look.
And you can even do a side view, because if you
Yeah.
see, so
Yeah, go with side
So when
to
we're
side.
injecting, we kind of look at multiple angles, because we know, for example, the ideal lip, you kind of want like a 40 to 60% ratio for the top lip versus the bottom. So she has that nice kind of subtle but beautiful pout on the lower lip. And then if you face back towards the camera, you can see that Cupid's bow is more defined, and she just has beautiful volume.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yay.
All right, another comment, Erin, is
Yes.
that your skin looks gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
So, but they haven't exactly guessed what exactly it is.
Why that is.
Okay, so I'm going to give you one moment to throw out a guess as to what kind of treatment would improve skin tone or texture or acne scarring.
That I've had done
Yeah.
in the past month, actually, here.
Let's see if we get somebody to guess the right thing. Someone said microdermabrasion.
Very close.
Close.
That is a great service that our estheticians provide for kind of an exfoliative, polished look, but not what Erin has done recently. But great guess.
All right, that's our only guess so far. Oh, somebody just said microneedling.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
And they're our winner. So, Erin, can you tell us a little bit about the microneedling?
Yeah, absolutely. So I had microneedling done for my pore size, all over texture, and acne scarring. I had some PIH as well, definitely in this lower area specifically. And I kept finding that even if I was very consistent with my skincare routine, my products, and the facials and everything, I was still getting some breaking out. And after I did a series of 3 microneedlings last year, I noticed a significant decrease in the amount of breakouts I was getting. And that was kind of surprising for us because, mostly it's for treating, but it was also helping me with preventative a little bit. So this year I did another single treatment for maintenance. I did my face, neck, and my chest. And it is, I think, the procedure that I've noticed the biggest overall improvement in my skin. It helps with a little bit of everything, hyperpigmentation, texture, pore size, overall evenness. And it's one of those things that you'll notice 6 months later. So that's when your collagen and your elastin is built back up. And so last spring I was kind of looking at myself and I was like, wow, what have I done? My skin looks amazing. And I had to think back to the fact that I had finished a series last December. So
Yeah.
just one of my favorite things we do. It's so good.
Yeah, and for those of you who haven't experienced it yet, so what it involves is a series of 3 treatments spaced 4 weeks apart. And during the actual treatment, so we apply a topical numbing for about 30 to 40 minutes. And what we use is the skin pen. And what that is it's tiny needles. And the goal is to achieve kind of this controlled microscopic injury to the skin. And what that does when it gets into the dermis is it promotes your own skin, your own body, to produce more of that collagen and elastin. And over time, that's what improves the texture and the tone of your skin. What's really neat is that we have a machine here called the Visia, which we take pictures of your face from 3 different angles. And what it does is it compares your skin type to the same gender of the same age. So we'll actually take one of those pictures post each treatment that you have to observe the effects. And then like Erin said, it really is 6 months later after your last treatment that we notice the most significant improvement.
Excellent. Another question back to lip filler that was just asked is how do you know which product to use when doing the lips? And this specific person asked Restylane versus Juvederm, and then which product within those portfolios would you decide to use?
Yeah, great question. And it's totally individualized. So it definitely depends on everyone's age, everyone's skin. We love Juvederm here, so not to kind of overwhelm people or get into too much detail, but we have Volbella, Volure, and Juvederm that we really prefer to use, and all can achieve beautiful results with lips. It just really depends on what you're looking for. So to give you an example, on many patients, I love Volbella. So for those of you that haven't seen it, it's kind of like a jelly-like consistency, and it's softer, it's a little bit more moldable, and kind of gives like a luscious look to the lips. Whereas if you need a little bit more support, then we would go to one of our other fillers, such as Volure or Juvederm, which is a little bit more firm to give you that support to build volume. So it totally depends on the look you're going for, and that's always why we love to consult with you ahead of time and have you bring in photos, and so we can just discuss which one would be best for you.
Excellent. All right, another guess for what Erin had done was Botox for the crow's feet.
I have not had
Oh,
Botox for my
she's
crows.
naturally beautiful eyes. She's lucky. Yeah. But that is one of my favorite treatments. So it does definitely help to smooth out the crow's feet here. We usually do a series of 3 tiny injections, and it usually lasts every 3 to 4 months. Yeah.
But Erin's probably not quite at that age where she would need that yet.
I do get my glabella done, so that's the one area for Botox that I get done. And I feel like that makes a huge difference. I was starting to notice that I could see my 11s at resting face just in my makeup, and at this point, if I'm not preventing it, then it will start to stay there even longer. So
Yep, very smart. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, and we have one last treatment that Erin has had done over the past few months, if anyone wants to guess. And Erin, do you mind maybe doing another
absolutely.
close up?
I will say the treatment that has not been guessed yet is the treatment that is most famous in our office for Erin.
Yes.
So if you've come for a consultation, you've often seen this before and after photo.
Yes.
That's the hint I'm giving. Nothing so far. Beth, do you want to mention that prize again?
Yeah, so for the for any correct guesses, so it's $25 towards a treatment, and with a max of 100. So you can keep guessing. It can be a different treatment, and even if you guessed correctly on the previous one, you still have the opportunity to get an additional $25 off.
All right. Oh, someone guessed IPL.
Another favorite. But Erin, I don't think, have you had IPL done?
I have had IPL done in the past, just not
Okay.
this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, someone guessed tear troughs.
Yay, we have a winner!
Oh, we have a winner.
Yes.
We have my
Perfect.
beautiful before and afters.
Yeah.
These up for ya.
Amazing. Yes, perfect. So this is a treatment. So Kelsey, our nurse practitioner, who's actually coming on after me, she is amazing at it. And what it involves is putting a type of filler, velour, and it's mixed with some normal saline, which is you numb this area here and you inject and kind of fill and smooth. I'm not sure if you can see this area.
I can bring this up.
You really just kind of smooth this transition and the hollowness here to give it a more a soft kind of blended look. So see how much more awake and refreshed she looks, and that also lasts up to a year. Do we have any specific questions on tear trough fillers?
Nothing so far.
Okay, anything else you want to add?
No, not specifically. I do feel like it's one of the treatments that I've noticed
Yeah.
made a really big difference, instant gratification. Before I would come in, and this for years I would come into work, if I wasn't wearing makeup, everyone would be like, "Hey, are you okay today?" Like, and I'd be like, "No, I'm fine. I don't know what you're talking about." And then when I saw my before and afters for the tear trough filler, I was like, "Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense."
People like instantly look 10 years younger.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Absolutely.
And just so
Yeah.
well rested.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you. So now we'll kind of switch over. We're going to have Kelsey, our nurse practitioner, come on with Sasha, our consultant, and we'll do the same thing. So it'll be 3 major treatments that you can guess what Sasha has had done. And same thing, $25 off for every correct answer with a max of 100. And we'll have fun with it and just ask away.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kelsey, the nurse practitioner, and we all know Sasha.
Hi. Thanks for joining us today. So I have had lots of things done here. As of January, I will have been on staff here for 10 years. So I have had the benefit of really working here from my 40s into my 50s, which for most of us, we know that that's just a key time that the skin is really starting to show the signs of aging. So I feel like by working in this practice for that amount of time and having everything at my fingertips with our wonderful providers, it's really made a huge difference in the way that I've aged. And I've really been able to stay looking like myself, looking really natural, but also being able to maintain just basically a rejuvenated look, which has always been my goal. So I will take my mask off and I'm going to come close to the camera for inspection.
Beautiful. Does anyone have any guesses on what Sasha has had done?
Not yet.
And wrong guesses don't count, so go ahead, guys, get that money.
Although I do feel like, again, just from my personal journey, there's not a lot of wrong answers.
We have a guess. Lips, filler, and Botox.
That would be right. Yep.
Working in this industry, why wouldn't you want those beautiful
All of
things?
the above, yes.
Yes. Where do we want to start, Sasha?
I will say that I started doing, I'm just turned 50 this year. I started doing Botox in my 30s. So I started doing just a little bit of my glabella in my late 30s. And like I said, as I have aged, I've added on. So typically now a Botox treatment for me will be the glabella between the brows, a tiny bit across the forehead, and then the crow's feet, which Beth mentioned is one of my favorite areas where I see a nice difference. So I typically go about 3 times a year is my pattern, and it's very predictable for me. Like, I know when my Botox is worn off, I know when it's time to come back in, but for me it's typically, like I said, about 3 times a year that I can plan on for that treatment. And I have had filler as well. I started doing my lips in my early 40s just because I felt like I was losing volume, and then I started doing my cheeks in my mid 40s with Voluma to create that lift across the lateral cheek. And so the last time I had it was actually over a year ago.
Oh, wow.
So I had 2 syringes of Voluma in November of 2020 and 1 syringe of Volbella in the lips last November. And I had a tiny bit of Velour, which Kelsey did for me last summer in my chin. And that was a really interesting treatment because we were working with a trainer who came into the office to teach us some new techniques. And they did kind of an airbrush technique in the chin area to create some smoothing because I was starting to see some crepiness along the cheek area. So that was a treatment that I really liked as well and plan on repeating. But I think part of it is, when we tell people about filler treatments, we expect typically when you're starting out 9 months to a year with the Juvederm products in terms of the benefits. So most people will start to see product break down at around the 9-month mark and then probably come in to have it redone between 9 and 12 months. And that's typical of most of the Juvederm products. And of course that varies from individual, but that's a typical time frame that we would recommend. I think that because I've been doing filler for so long, and we see this with a lot of our clients who are consistent with it and have been doing it for 5+ years, they actually go longer. And Erin was a good example of that. Like, she goes now, almost 2 years between her lip treatments. So I feel like for me, I typically go about 18 months between my filler treatments. So I'm getting a lot of value out of those treatments, and I think that's based on the consistency.
Absolutely.
So that's been a really good investment for me.
Mm-hmm. And I do want to talk about the consistency of Botox too. Like, your skin looks wonderful, but by getting it before it completely wears off, you're able to stop those muscles before they're able to contract and make that static line worse.
So regular treatments every 3 to 4 months before it completely wears off by using daily sunscreen and daily moisturizer will help you have this beautiful, refreshed, young skin forever. Like, I would never guess that Sasha was 50.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, I agree. That, kind of keeping up with your treatments, I think is really key to getting the best value out of what you're doing.
absolutely. And the same thing with filler. I think I call it like refreshing. You're basically just replacing that slowly goes away with age. We're all gonna have that natural aging process, and it's nothing to be ashamed of, but keep yourself refreshed and feeling good. That's what we all want.
Yeah.
Naturally, and that's what we're proud of here.
Yeah. I think so too, that with the filler especially, it becomes, for some people, when we're replenishing that volume and then the filler will break down, that's part of the natural process of it. When you repeat the treatment before the filler has completely diminished, it will keep you looking more youthful versus that kind of deflation, inflation, which is going to become more obvious to people. If you really let the filler completely go away,
Yes.
maybe wait, 2-3 years before you're coming in for another treatment, and then you're refilling, it's going to be a more obvious transition
Absolutely.
versus coming in and kind of keeping everything at a level that just always looks good.
Yes,
Yeah.
completely agree.
And we have 2 questions. So one, are there any programs or reward programs for like Botox or filler or anything like that?
Yes. So both of those products are owned by a company called Allergan. Allergan is a very large pharmaceutical company that has a very well thought out reward program. So it's called Alle. It's ALLE.com. It is available through many, many practices worldwide. It's an Allergan product. We just happen to be a participating office. And it is an account that you can sign up, and it's free. And you can use it for any of your basically injectable products, Botox, Juvederms. You can even use it on SkinMedica skincare and Latisse products. And it does belong to the patient, which is nice. So if we have a client who is a snowbird and she's getting her Botox in Florida during the winter, she can still access her Alle account at that provider, get points, earn points, redeem points, and then also use it here with us. So it's nice because it does belong specifically to the client. And a vast majority of our clients do use it. And it will save you, significant amounts of money throughout your process.
And I feel like our employees do a wonderful job at seeing how many Alle points they have just to try to save them money too, which is another reason why I love this med spa.
Yeah, we do a great job with our front desk staff to make sure that people, can know how many points they have, how to access their points, and making sure that they're getting their points that they're earning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. And this is more on skin, but do you have any favorite products? That was a question. Like if you were to say 3 favorite products that you use.
That's a hard question for me because I have a lot of products. I am a licensed esthetician. I've been in skincare for 22 years, so you can only imagine what my bathroom looks like. But I will say at the moment, I do have a couple of favorites. SkinMedica came out with an upgraded TNS serum the summer of 2020, and it's called TNS Advanced Plus. I have been using that pretty consistently since it was released. So I would say probably 18 months now, and I definitely see a difference. It is one of those products, it's expensive, but it's worth it, and it's very simple. So it's the thing you can add into your routine. I do it just morning. Some people will use it twice a day, but it does make a difference. So you do definitely feel like it's a worthwhile investment. The other thing I'm a huge fan of is sunscreen. I never leave home without it. I have multiple varieties of sunscreen. I have powdered sunscreen that I use to reapply throughout the day. If I'm being exposed, I have day creams that I use every morning regardless of the weather or what my plans are. But protecting is really important because especially if you're investing in treatments like this, you want to make sure that you're protecting that investment, and sun is our worst enemy. And then another thing is a moisturizer that we just came out with under our Med Spa umbrella. So it's a Med Spa 1064 product. It's called Hydra Rich, and
Love
it
it.
has, it's one of our new favorites, and patients are just repurchasing. Our staff has loved it for a while. But that is a really great moisturizer. It's a mid-weight. It has hyaluronic acid, it has ceramides, and it has some really nice lipids, including squalene, which are really skin friendly, and it works for really almost any skin type. So, from dry skin to oily skin, it seems to almost auto adjust to your skin type and just give you a really nice dewy feeling, which I love.
And it's a wonderful price point.
Yeah.
So I think that's a nice add-on. I'm also a very simple girl. I love our gentle foamy cleanser.
Mhm.
I do a tretinoin cream at night. Nuova Facial Fluid SPF, and Hydra Rich is one I recommend to everyone and myself use. It has hyaluronic acid in it, and it's super smooth, but it also hydrates and isn't too heavy.
Yeah, that's a great one. And like I said, I have yet to find someone who doesn't love that product.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, it's universal. And it does come in at a really nice price point. Like Kelsey said, it's under $60. And for, a fairly long-lasting supply, which is nice. All right.
Okay.
All right. Does anybody else have any other questions? Well, it was wonderful meeting with you. We're always happy to share all the things we do. Whenever you're in the office, feel free to ask us what we've had done or what our favorite thing of the moment is, because we're always happy to share. We do this because it is our job, but we also love it. So thank you for tuning in tonight. And for those of you who won, those credits will be ready for you whenever you come in the office.
Excited to see you soon.
Take care.